Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know what I'm asking myself? Are leftists the most gullible people on the planet? Because it certainly feels like. It feels like they have an uncanny ability to be propagandized. I mean, Democrat voters over the last 10 years have fallen for some of the most laughable and absurd stories. It's almost as if their gullibility knows no bounds when it comes to anything that confirms their worldview or vilifies their political opponents. From the Steele dossier, Donald Trump's pee-pee tape, we all remember that one, to the Covington Catholic high school boys and the infamous smirking incident, to the Juicy Smollett hoax. I mean, that was believable, right? 2 o'clock in the morning in the dead of night in the cold winter in downtown Chicago of all places. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, wasn't that during the time of a polar vortex? Yeah, apparently 2 o'clock in the morning, downtown Chicago, polar vortex. That's the center of MAGAville. That's MAGA country. That was believable. We had Russia paying bounties on US soldiers' heads, kids in cages, Brett Kavanaugh's high school yearbook. The Hunter Biden laptop story was Russian disinformation. Donald Trump called neo-Nazis very fine people. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. Democrats believe some of the most ridiculous things. As long as it fits their worldview, they'll believe it, and obviously, that's exactly what the Democrats and the leftist mainstream media are taking advantage of. And that's why we have these constant, ridiculous, unbelievable hit pieces dropping with literal zero evidence, and it seems as though we have yet again another one, a big scandal involving Donald Trump Jr. There's a leaked text message around that gives us an insight into the latest media hit piece hoax, and yeah, it's pretty much just as pathetic as you might imagine, but probably not pathetic enough for Democrats to not believe it or not fall for it, and so I think they're really gonna go with this one. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so this is absolutely wild, and honestly, I'd even call it peak leftist lunacy. We've got this text message exchange from a journalist by the name of Miranda Bryant, who supposedly works for The Guardian. She's working on a big piece that apparently makes the claim that Donald Trump Jr. wandered around in Greenland during his latest, let's call it diplomatic visit, apparently recruiting homeless people and drug addicts for free lunch so he could make it seem as if there was people supporting his father. Let me repeat that. Supposedly, the son of the incoming president of the United States, the most popular politician in modern history, arguably the most famous global icon at this point, everybody in the world knows who Donald Trump is, supposedly, his son was bribing drug addicts in Greenland to garner support. Yeah, okay. Take a look at this text message. Miranda Bryant writes, "Hi Arthur, I'm a reporter from The Guardian. I'm working on a story from Nuke. I've spoken to the CEO of Hotel Hans Egedi, who told me that Donald Trump Jr. invited homeless people and drug dealers he met on the streets who had no idea who he was for a free lunch to make it look like they were supporters of his father. Does Donald Trump Jr. have any comment on this? If so, please get back to me ASAP. Thanks, Miranda Bryant." Then this Arthur individual responds, "That's pretty wild. Did the hotel CEO provide any actual evidence that Don did that? Or are you just planning on running an unsubstantiated claim with no evidence to corroborate it?" Absolutely blistered. She then responds, "Hi, thanks for your message. Does he dispute the hotel CEO's claims?" Arthur then responds, "You tell me, do you think Donald Trump was wandering around Greenland inviting homeless people and drug addicts to a lunch? Or do you realize that the suggestion sounds so beyond the pale ridiculous that you should feel stupid even asking the question? There were cameras following him around from the second he got there to the second he left. Did they miss him recruiting homeless people and drug addicts to his homeless person/drug addict lunch? Are you lacking cognition?" What a perfect response encapsulating just how ridiculous this claim is. But ridiculous or not, I'm telling you this is what they're gonna run with. Because when they have nothing left, what do they always do? They make stuff up or pick up the crumbs off the floor. And that seems to be exactly what they're doing with this ridiculous story. But I don't necessarily want to overanalyze this particular instance. No, instead I'd rather take the conversation to the more meta point and also point out the obvious hypocrisy that I'm seeing. The left is once again projecting that Donald Trump needs to buy support when they're literally the ones doing exactly that. I mean, we all remember this Instagram video from the 2024 election, right?
Do y'all see this? They are literally paying people to support Camala Harris. If you pretend like you like her, you can make $150 in cash.
Where the Camala Harris campaign got exposed for paying $150 to small-time influencers hoping that they would pretend to like her. We also saw all the big scandals of them supposedly trying to pay big influencers pretty hefty sums of cash to do the exact same thing. Remember when big-time streamer Kai Cenat exposed Kamala Harris?
I got the Secret Service calling me 5 times! I don't know goddamn shit about politics, my nigga. I don't know nothing. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't give a okay? I haven't spoken to this girl in so goddamn long who gonna have the audacity to text me, we need you a part of the campaign. At first I was thinking she was talking about like a game, a video game, like a Modern Warfare game. I'm like, what campaign? Shorty gonna say, if there's some way, somehow, something was to go into where I do the stream of politics, I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm going to sit on my stream and say, why did you guys call me? Like, I don't know. I've never did anything with politics. And these blogs are like trying to say, yo.
Yeah, obviously, this is part of a much bigger pattern, and it's something we've seen time and time again, that leftists will literally believe anything about Donald Trump and his family, no matter how absurd, no matter how hypocritical. They'll just buy into the narrative hook, line, and sinker without a frickin' question. Oh, nobody supports Donald Trump. He just won the popular vote. Yeah, but not in Greenland, and so he had to pay hobos to show up to his lunch. It's completely insane, and the irony, when Camala Harris just recently bussed a whole crew of supporters to her little lunch at the Permanente Bros in Pennsylvania. Yeah, we all remember that one.
They kicked us out of Permanente Bros, and they said it's a problem. You are terrible people.
Tell us again, what happened at Permanente Brothers?
They kicked us out of Permanente Brothers so that they could get the paid actors inside.
Ridiculous.
Yes.
So there's all the paid actors.
Look at all these people. My God.
Holy hell. All these actors in these vans. I know. They can't even afford actors.
The hypocrisy on this particular issue runs so incredibly deep, it's unbelievable. But at the end, it doesn't matter, because who do you think this is for? It's simply junk, confirmation bias propaganda that's meant to take advantage of all the gullible fools. In other words, the blue anon fools who just buy this stuff without question. One story after another. And what we're seeing here with this latest Greenland story is just the latest iteration of this long-running trend. Leftists have built their entire worldview on these insane, unproven, and often debunked claims that they want so desperately to be true. It's not about facts or evidence. It's about feeding their Trump derangement syndrome. These people are obsessed with Trump, and they've clearly created this little alternative universe where anything goes as long as it paints Donald Trump and his family in the worst possible light. And so here's the bigger question that I'm asking. Why do they keep falling for this stuff? What happened? Is this a result of the education system? Because it seems as though these days people can't critically think anymore. It feels almost as if critical thought has been traded for tribalism. And we got people so deeply invested in this stuff. I mean, we got people who have made it their entire personality. And so I guess there's a pathetic little ecosystem for this nonsense. And I call it nonsense on purpose because it certainly isn't journalism. This is propaganda for people who want to live in a fantasy world where every absurd anti-Trump story is true. And this right here is also why these people are losing. It's why the Democrats are in complete disarray, and it's why the media continues to lose credibility, because there's a whole lot of serious stuff happening in the world, and there's a lot of issues that people have at the top of the priority list with this new administration coming in. But what is the leftist media focused on? Another ridiculous hoax. I guess we could call it Greenland Hobo Lunchgate. Yeah, that's what the media is focused on. Just like during his first term, instead of focusing on anything important, it was Russia, 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 the PP tapes, the Very Fine People hoax, the 2 Scoops scandal. Ooh, Donald Trump and the koi pond feeding scandal in Japan. A bunch of frickin' nonsense. Please, if you are falling for this stuff, if you are in this little media propaganda chamber, open your eyes, step out, and come back to the real world. Because this stuff is crazy. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.